I'm here for all of the witches.
Emma Watson has been in the public eye since she was extremely young and starred alongside Daniel Radcliffe in Harry Potter. Now she is slamming the very creator of the book series and subsequent movies that made her an A-list celebrity. In a kind of passive hit aimed at J.K. Rowling, who is now known for her insanely transphobic Twitter rants, fans noticed Emma throwing subtle shade at the author during her BAFTA awards speech. Emma herself is an extremely decorated celebrity as the UN Women Goodwill Ambassador. She's incredibly invested in equity and women's rights. Lately, she's also been more interested in sustainable fashion and clothing production as well. Today we're talking about Emma Watson. Tomorrow though, you decide. Let us know in the comments down below who you think we should cover on the next episode of Where Are They Now? Emma Watson was born in Paris, France to lawyer parents. She lived in Paris with her family until she got divorced when she was only 5 years old, and she moved to England to live with her mom in Oxfordshire. She would also spend weekends with her dad in London when he moved to England later on. She attended the Dragon School, which is an extremely prestigious school in England. She also stated that when she was only 6 years old, she decided that she wanted to be an actress. Once she made her passions known, she was enrolled by her parents in the Oxford brand of Stagecoach Theatre Arts, which is a part-time theatre school where she studied singing, dancing, and acting. By age 10, she was performing in productions and school plays, but she had never acted professionally before she auditioned for Harry Potter. Casting agents found Emma through her Oxford theatre teacher, and they were impressed by her confidence. Throughout the filming of each movie, Emma matured into a grown woman from the young girl she was with the first one. Her character of Hermione was really well received, and she won a bunch of awards pretty much for each movie she was in. That being said, prior to the release of Order of the Phoenix, the Harry Potter series was in jeopardy as all 3 lead actors became hesitant to sign on to continue their roles for the final installments of the movies. Emma Watson in particular was very hesitant, knowing that it was another 4-year commitment to the same character. Eventually, however, she decided to continue on because she, quote, could never let the role of Hermione go. The Deathly Hallows Part 2 is the highest grossing movie in the series at $1.3 billion worldwide. It's also Emma's highest grossing film to date. Although she starred in a few indie flicks while filming Harry Potter, she didn't really move on from that sphere until the movies stopped filming. She notably worked in The Perks of Being a Wallflower and as Belle in the live-action Disney adaptation of Beauty and the Beast. More notably for me personally, she starred as Meg in the film adaptation of Little Women, and I genuinely do love her for that. She arguably has the hardest role because her goals align more with tradition, wanting to make a family and become a housewife. Emma puts it rather beautifully with the quote, "I think Little Women was a good literary device to explain that there's not one way to be a feminist. Meg's way of being a feminist is making the choice, because that's really, for me anyway, what feminism is about. Her choice is that she wants to be a full-time mother and wife." Career-wise, Emma has kind of stepped back in recent times. In 2020, she discussed her future, stating, quote, "Having been so public in making films and being so active on social media is my activism. I'm curious to embrace a role where I work to amplify more voices, to continue to learn from those with different experiences. My work will include fewer red carpets and more conference meetings." In 2021, too, there were rumors circulating that Emma may be retiring from movies, to which her team quickly refuted. She cited her relative public absence as continued space needed during these unconventional times. I think out of all of the Harry Potter cast, definitely, Emma Watson is the most outspoken when it comes to politics and global operations. She's one of the earlier adopters of sustainable fashion, having worked for PeopleTree, which is a sustainable fashion brand, and wearing only sustainable brands on red carpets and press tours. She's an advocate for the environment, but she's also an advocate for women's equity. She was appointed the UN Women Goodwill Ambassador and campaigned for equal rights for women in countries like Bangladesh and Zambia. In 2019, she also launched a legal helpline for people who have suffered workplace harassment and inappropriate actions taken while at work. Legal advice is provided by Rights of Women, which is a charity that works to help women using the legal system. She is definitely an activist and what I will call a role model, although she tends to shy away from that term. I think that's what makes J.K. Rowling's transphobic comments and Emma's reaction to them extremely interesting. The many tweets that Rowling has sent out has branded her as a TERF, or a trans-exclusionary radical feminist. One such tweet posted in June 2020 was a response to an article where they said, quote, people who menstruate, rather than, like women, like JK's about to say. JK posted this article with the caption, quote, people who menstruate. I'm sure there used to be a word for these people. Someone help me out. Wumbin, wimpund, woomund. Basically making fun of a statement that was meant to include trans folks. In response to this statement, and another one where the Harry Potter author reiterates that trans women aren't real women, some actors involved in the series, including Daniel Radcliffe, Katie Wang, and Ivana Lynch, all released statements against Rowling. Emma Watson joined the team as well, tweeting, quote, trans people are who they say they are and deserve to live their lives without being constantly questioned or told they aren't who they say they are. I want my trans followers to know that I and so many other people around the world see you, respect you, and love you for who you are. I donate to Mermaids Gender and Mama Cash, which are trans organizations. If you can, perhaps you'll feel inclined to do the same. Happy Pride 2020, sending love. Since then, as I mentioned before, Emma Watson has started to become more and more private as the world started to turn on its head a bit. With that, while J.K. Rowling continued to tweet, make light of trans issues in the name of feminism, which, by the way, if your feminism excludes trans women, then you're just a bigot. But either way, Emma didn't make a statement beyond the Twitter one that I stated above. Then, during the 2022 BAFTA Awards, Emma Watson was asked to give a speech while she was presenting the award for Outstanding British Film. Rebel Wilson, who was hosting the event, introduced her with the joke, quote, she calls herself a feminist, but we all know she's a witch. As a counter joke back to Wilson, Emma took the mic and said, quote, I'm here for all witches, wherein she emphasizes the word all. Listen, I know the clickbait title says she slams J.K. Rowling. There was no slamming going on. In fact, it's quite the implicit jibe at Rowling's hateful tweets. But people on Twitter took it as the jibe it was, with a few people calling Emma Watson a queen, others excitedly laughing about Emma and her support for trans women, saying that they lived for the exchange. That wasn't the only jibe given to the author, however, when Rebel Wilson joked about her own weight loss by showing two photos of her transformation side by side. She commented, quote, I hope J.K. Rowling approves. I think honestly, just let women live. The definition doesn't really matter, and no one is trans for the clout because obviously, given how controversial it seems to be outspoken about feminism, like someone publicly aligning with the gender that they are is really not hurting anyone. J.K. Rowling's books monumentally helped a lot of kids who felt like the underdog. That's who Harry Potter is. A ton of these kids are part of the LGBT community. J.K. Rowling had the perfect public persona. She gave up her billionaire status because she donated to so many charities. So what I don't understand is why she couldn't just be quiet. Her books changed children's literature and helped a lot of kids through difficult times, so why would you want to alienate an audience based on archaic beliefs that really don't roll with a culture that is attempting to achieve true equity? If you don't support it, just be quiet. That's the video about Emma Watson. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel so we can continue to grow, and comment below who you think we should cover. Thank you for watching this episode of Where Are They Now? I've been your host Sierra. See you guys next time.